Let's rev it up with some Synchro turbo action. It also appears that Saravis and Friends is back, and of course, the Dragon Rulers and much more. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Let's rev it up with the Synchro Turbo Express out here. And, ever since OSS got banned, I know a lot of people were, like, very upset that they broke the connection. They're like, oh, I can't abuse my jet synchrons anymore. This is so absurd. How dare Konami? And it's like, no, that connection needed to be broken because this deck was kind of doing too much, and especially when you're able to use like a combination pile like this in order to do things. It's actually pretty nuts. Now, you're going to notice that we are using 2 copies of the Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. I think this has been a little bit more of a commonplace out here as of late with this. While, you have the other big dragons, and they can do things like Cosmic Blazar, for example, I think the Shooting Majestic Star just kind of feels like a better card out here in order to kind of get the job done. It's not like, we're not going to be cheating this thing out with Crimson Dragon literally every single, chance that we're getting. You're also still using the Kashtira pace as, your base to put level 7s on the field. And then you can basically start tuning up from there, getting into the 3s, the 10s, depending on, how the deck needs to play out and depending on how the opening hand is going to structure. You are doing a lot of hand traps in here. Cool thing is, these are going to be acting as level 3 tuner monsters as well, which is, I guess the one big thing that the Ghost Girls always had going with them is, being able to act as a subclass tuner monster is going to be fine. I see we are playing Book of Eclipses down here to detour any big problems the opponent might have. Stop those key pesky hand traps, aka your best end board piece. And of course, we are actually playing Gravity Collapse in here. In any sort of scenario that you can end on a pretty strong board out here and just roll through your opponent, I think is going to be absolutely hilarious. A lot of people looking at Synchro decks just don't see Gravity Collapse coming. I don't know why, how, when, where, why, or how that they don't see that one, but okay. Next up here, we have, what is this? Voiceless Voice, Kashtira, Diabellstar, the deck. Now, keep in mind, we broke the link. All right, there's no longer, OSS to bridge on into the other engine, but instead what we're using this package for is to roll into the Deception line to get to Sylvia. All right, this is a very good example out here that Sylvia actually provides you with a very strong base for negations, so you're able to actually set up and, play the game through this. I also see that this build is getting a little bit spicier than some of the normal list. We're actually using the Red Ice Flare Metal Dragon out here as a powerhouse to kind of punish the opponent. You set up a full board, with like Desiree and everything. You got the Flare Metal sitting next to it. You're just going to start out grinding your opponent very, very, very consistently. And I can't really imagine a very fun board that this is going to be to deal with, especially maybe if you have to deal with a Wave King Kaiser next to a Flare Metal. It's just going to depend on how the local environment's going to be structured in order to do things. I also think kind of creepily that the Diabellstar being a level 7 combined with a Kashtira is some pretty stupid synergy that you're actually able to get. So I don't know. I think that this hybrid might actually be a really cool idea, especially if you're looking at maybe like a regional level deck. And, you've got Voiceless Voice stuff, and you're like, hey, how can I strengthen the Voiceless Voice package? Fiendsmith? As you can see here, obviously, definitely proves that Fiendsmith still is the best splash package, but, all this extra little sub stuff getting the job done. I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4 engines shoved into one deck. And, we don't even have a side deck for this. I really wish they would have showed the side for this, because I would have loved to have seen the crazy ideas that they're shoving in here, because getting the opportunity to see, the interchangeable cards would have been nice. But okay. Ooh, I love the Mulch Armies just shifting on through here. So this is Sonny's Dragon Roller list. Sonny has been very, very famous out here for the amount of love that they give to dragons. Between like Dragon Link variants and all this new stuff, Sonny has been very notorious for using the little Red Rose Dragon here. Honestly, Red Rose Dragon coming back was an incredibly broken thing. The way that this card functionally acts and is able to just be a crazy extender is actually really, really nuts to me. Like, Konami, you did some wonders by allowing the TCG to explore the option with this. I also do see that we are doing Horus stuff in here. We're not playing Quef. You're just playing the 3 level 8s. Honestly, playing Dummeltef is usually bad enough. But if you're playing the other one, he's just a brick and a half. He doesn't really ever promote much gameplay. You also do see we are choosing to play the one grass. I mean, a grass honestly resolving in this deck is probably going to take you to like an insane level of advantage. I also see the mischief of the gnomes down here in one of those particular situations that, you know, you're playing against a dear old Rizal, being able to punish them by flipping mischief of the gnomes and start skewing their monsters on the field is a little bit unfair. Much like the Drytron field spell that has level manipulation, this is definitely a little bit cute. Honestly, outside of that, strong board breakers, an entire good foundation to build a basis of, and a couple of surprises. Wow, we really were thrusting into deck Devi in here. I hadn't really thought about this, actually. Being able to thrust into this just definitely kind of ensures some pretty strong answers, if need be. I can't really imagine your opponent having a good time after they get deck Devi and they're just like, what in the world actually just happened here? All right, we have some branded action for you out here. Now, I see we're 5 cards short from this being the 60 card pile video, honestly, which is incredibly hilarious just to kind of see out here. You know, how many the big pile variants can we actually have? And I'm glad to see that the TCG is exploring more of these ideas. Keep in mind, this build's not playing grass, you know. We are maximizing on Allure so we can actually dig into the deck and find more of those turbo resources. But we're also playing cute little things down here, like the There Can Only Be One, to actually, you know, detour the opponent and tell them, no, you will not have fun today. Of course, honestly, the Book of Eclipses have definitely become a stronger base right now as well. Something about the Book of Eclipse just being able to handle multiple problems has turned into a very, very strong thing. I also see there's this down here. We are actually side decking a Raigeki to board clear certain situations. Now, give or take, I'm not surprised to see Raigeki being a extra little thrust target you can toggle into. You know, toggle into this, get a free board wipe. It's not like there's going to be any real big negates that you're going to have to deal with, which is pretty major. Also, one other big surprise that the current TCG branded build has kind of been going towards has been the Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. I mean, it's literally a level 8 Light Dragon and a level 8 Dark Dragon, and you just get to shit this thing on the field. Like, it's so free to do. As long as you're able to get this up, you got at least, what, 3 negates? And your opponent's going to have some problems dealing with this. So, you've got some very, very, very strong cards in your arsenal for you. I definitely like that. I also see we are playing the one of Skill Drain down here. You may as well, right? Like, your deck's very notorious for putting very large beat sticks on the field, so you may as well take advantage of running through those very large monsters to keep that steamroll rolling to make sure your opponent gets closed out of the game very, very quickly. Interesting to see branded evolution, though. And our last list here is some, we have some good old Phantom Knight with the Water Enchantress good stuff package. So this was already an extremely rogue strategy out here. I do see that this build actually went to main decking Triple King Sarcophagus. I guess, like, this is such an importantly needed piece that, like, you want to make sure that even if they cut off the Mcetti, you're able to still see this, because you want to be able to send those Phantom Knights out of your hand reliably to start that combo line so you can actually start to play the game. That is interesting. I mean, you're already maximizing at 42. I don't really see a world in here where you can really cut anything to trying to slim this down. I do see that we do have 2 missing side deck cards, which is fine, I guess. You know, when you're looking at decks like this, you're very easily able to kind of toggle through a lot of the options and be able to do what you need to do. I mean, that's why you have the Congo line of 3 of these things now. You want to make sure that you're getting the negate line set up through the denial, or the Griffin here, so that you can keep actually choosing to play the game. And that's fine. Like, this deck's job is to set up and go. If any piece kind of crumbles along the way, it's kind of where you start to have the problems. Hey, look, we got him SETI plus two names with the sword. I mean, this droplet just board breaks our opponent and goes. Hey, look, double Fool Wars plus this and the SETI. I mean, if I can open up like that all the time, I think I'm going to just win the game pretty free. Like, there's really nothing stopping me from doing that. So that's all I have for you guys today. Please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.